With the recent rise, fall, and forced reanimation of AI in the artistic field, I feel obliged to throw in my 2 cents into the ring. To open, I'd like to say that AI art is not art. Art cannot be created by accident, thus, anything without a consciousness cannot create art. But more on that later. This being a hot topic, many voices threw down in the ring. Opinions flying in from all over the place, but where many voices gather, there's bound to be a lot of talking and little saying. To simplify matters, we'll boil the discussion down to two main talking points: stealing art and stealing jobs. We'll tackle the former first since the argument is so simple that it borders on redundant. If your AI model requires art to function, then you should pay for it in the same way you pay for electricity. Case closed. The second point is a bit more complex because it requires us to understand and estimate the AI's capabilities. As you can tell by now, I'm not against AI, at least not for any reason pertinent to this subject. I do have a bias towards art because I think that, due to its mysterious nature, true artists don't get the recognition they deserve, but that's neither here nor there. Currently, AI cannot create art. It can create beauty, but beauty alone isn't enough. Art is a melange of idea and craft, a combination of meaning and skill. AI might have an increasingly good grasp on the craft, and one day may even be as good or better than a human, but it will still lack the idea, which is to say, the meaning behind it. AI will never create anything more than a pretty picture, because it cannot. That is why every single AI generated image, no matter how beautiful, remains dull. Anyone looking at its attempt at creating art will always have the same response. Something feels off. That reaction arises because there's no intention in the piece. But there's an even simpler way of looking at it. Take, for example, an amateur photo of the Eiffel Tower and an AI generated image of it side by side. The photo will always be more interesting because even though a human might know next to nothing about photography, they will still want to accentuate a characteristic of the tower. Perhaps the sun shines on it in a certain way, or the clouds create an interesting shadow. For the AI, on the other hand, the Eiffel Tower does not exist. It isn't a thing to be observed because AI does not observe, it analyzes. With all of this in mind, I feel confident in saying that AI imagery is nothing more than a costly way of creating stock photos. And even though corpos are pushing it as hard as the money bag holds, people seem to only use it for memes and background noise. And isn't that the shining nugget? The only thing AI can do is fill empty space with irrelevant data. As a close, I don't want to disregard AI imagery completely. It can be a quick and easy way to create references for artists. It could help with the technical side of creation, and its speed can be a real asset there. But without consciousness, it will never create art. Thank you for the time. I've been watching My Mister, a Korean drama, and I simply must recommend it for its amazing display of interpersonal relationships. I rarely get to see it done so well.